Hi, Paul Morris here with Assembly Care Ministries. This last year, with all the hurricane disaster relief projects that were underway, one of them was Frostproof Bible Chapel and the Sheppard Christian community in Frostproof, Florida. Well, I'm currently driving around the property at Frostproof, and we had the opportunity to fellowship with some of the believers at the Bible Chapel this Sunday. I just wanted to take some short videos of this location. I think that you'd be gratified to see that things are looking pretty good, and hopefully it's beneficial to you to see this as it is to me driving around and seeing this as well. Just a wonderful group of folks here. I had a chance to speak with Steve Rusk and George John and quite a few others, and just absolutely have enjoyed the fellowship.
Well, as you know, we're here in Florida, and this is hurricane country. And we entertained Hurricane Irma back right in the midst of hurricane season. And Nancy and I evacuated. We made it as far north as to Nashville and then back. And when we got back, it was just a mess. While the hurricane was going on, there's a brother in the assembly here that works in concert with the government, and he was in the radar station. He said we had 2 tornadoes right down our road here that accompanied the hurricane at the same time. So we really took a hit. There were wires down all over the road, trees broken all over the place. By God's grace, we didn't sustain a lot of damage in the homes in the area. However, the chapel really needed a roof badly after Irma tore through here. And we're a small meeting, and I don't know what you know about Florida, but in Florida, we have a lot of people here in the wintertime. And in the summertime, it gets hot, and we don't have so many people. Sometimes we're down to 4, 6 people in the meeting. And so when it came time to put a new roof on, we had about half the money in the bank, and but we didn't have enough to go forward with it. My wife and I went north up to Murfreesboro to the Bible conference up there. And while I was up in the room at the embassy suites there on the 11th floor, I called back here to talk to one of the elders about the roof job, and he said, "Steve, we just don't have enough money to go forward." I said, "Start the job, don't worry about it, the Lord will provide." I hung up the phone, went downstairs, and in a matter of 15 minutes later, Paul Morris came and spoke to me. I had been to the Assembly Care booth a little earlier in the day, and he said, "Steve Rusk, Frostproof, Florida, why is that significant to me?" And he was puzzling within himself, and he said, "I know." He said, "I have some funds for disaster relief for your assembly." And I want to tell you, it was the exact amount that we needed to complete the job. And all this happened, we had been praying about it, but all this happened within 15 minutes after I hung up the phone and told the brother, "Start the job, give the contractor the green light, the Lord will provide." So I just want anyone who's listening to know that this ministry, Assembly Care Ministries, is used of the Lord. It was used of the Lord definitely in answer to prayer for our needs. We had been praying about it. We really needed a roof. If the roof goes, the whole building's going to go. So it was essential that the meeting continues. It's our prayer, of course, with all the other assemblies around, that we continue until the Lord comes to meet in liberty and to worship the Lord and preach and teach. So just within a matter of minutes, our prayers was answered, and so we're very much encouraged. My wife, Nancy, and I, we've lived here in Frostproof for 4 years. We moved here from North Dakota. We were with Harvey Gospel Chapel, and before that, we were at East County Bible Fellowship, where we were married years back. And so all I've ever known in my Christian life is Assembly Fellowship. Even though I was saved late in life, the Lord led me into the assemblies in a very lovely way, in His grace and in His goodness. And I'm on the board of directors with Gospel Missions of India. I have been for years. I used to go to India for ministry. I've been to India very nearly 25 times. I went every year for a long time. And for the first 10 years I preached, and then after 10 years the Lord dealt with me to start making films of India. So I used to go over there and make films of assembly ministries, orphanages, hospital work, church planting, lots of things. And then I would spend about 3 months of the year traveling the USA, showing the films in different assemblies. So I'm sort of well known. I've been off the circuit for a few years because of cardiac issues, but the Lord's been very good to me, and I've got a handful of work to do here in Florida with the local assembly, and we're content and rejoicing in the Lord. We're living here at Sheppard Christian Community, and this has been here quite a long time. I don't know how many years, 40 years or more. It's a community of homes. It's not a gated community, although we do have our own entrance with our name on the front. But a lot of people come in the winter and just stay for a few months to get a lot of Canadians come. But we have exercise rooms and a room and internet room and shuffleboard at miniature golf. We've got on a very nice lakefront property with our own pier, and properties are for sale. If any assembly couple wanted to retire here, it would be very valuable if you were to come and take up residence and lend your hand to the work of the local assembly. Use your help. We're small. We'd like to grow. I don't think that the Lord really had a seasonal assembly in mind when He ordained the assembly, and we would really like, this is why my wife and I moved here, to build up the assembly, and we would like to see more full-time residents come and abide with us and help in the work. It's a nice assembly. We have a nice fellowship hall, and don't worry about the heat in the summer. It's only hot outside. We've got lots of air conditioning. We moved here from North Dakota. We used to tell people that it was only cold outside in the winter, so don't worry about the weather. The Gospel Missions of India in particular. So you can look us up on the web. We're at sheppard.org, I believe it is. Sheppard Living, sheppardliving.org. And you can get a look at us and see some photos. Very nice place here. It's in Central Florida, in the midst of the orange groves. So it's rural and quiet, but we're an hour and a half away from Disney World, if that would help you to orient to where we're located. So we're airport close to international airports, lots of local shopping. We measure civilization today by distance to Walmart. We're about 15 minutes from Walmart, so we're not that primitive. And if you want to find out where we are and get our address and our contact information, go to Assembly Care Ministries website and look on the directory. We're in there, the information is current, and we'll be glad to receive you. If you come here for a visit, we've got a place for you. We can put you up, if not in one of the vacant homes. If you come in the summer, there will be vacant homes. And if you come in the winter when it's full, why, we've got a guest room, and so do the other brethren who live here. And we'd be glad to host you and show you good Christian love and fellowship. And by the way, in this month's Cornerstone magazine, there's an advertisement for a home for sale here in Sheppard's Christian Community. So if you go to Cornerstone, you'll see a half-page ad, and there's some contact info in there, and it'll give you a little look-see of what it looks like around here. So Cornerstone magazine, this is March, so it'll be the March issue.